Now we will discuss the transportation in humans. Humans have a well-defined transportation system. The system which helps in the transportation of material from one part of the body, from one organ of the body to another. This transportation system is composed of three parts. The first one is transporting fluids. And there are two transporting fluids present in the body of humans. The first one is blood and the second one is lymph. The second component is transporting vessels. Transporting vessels are blood vessels, which are of further three types: arteries, veins, and capillaries. Along with that blood vessels, we have lymphatic vessels, which transports lymph. Then we have a third part, the pumping organ, and that pumping organ is heart. So now we will discuss these parts one by one. So we'll discuss the first transporting fluid, that is blood. Blood has two parts. The first is the liquid part, which is known as blood plasma. And the second is the cellular part, the solid part, that is blood cells or blood corpuscles. First we'll discuss the blood plasma. Blood is a connective tissue of our body which is red in color. The approximate value of the total blood in the adult human being is 5 to 7 liters. Out of that total volume of blood, 55% of the total volume is plasma. It is colorless as it does not have any pigment. It has various solutes in it. Along with that solute, it has water. The 92% of the volume of plasma contains water. Rest 8% contains various solute like digested material, waste materials from the various cells which are bringing up to the excretory organs. Along with that, it has an anticoagulant, that is heparin. That anticoagulant prevents the blood clotting in the closed vessels. The function of blood plasma is transportation, and that is the first function of blood. It helps in the transportation of various materials like digested food, excretory material from one part of the body to another. Next, the blood cells. The blood cells are of three types. First one is red blood cells, abbreviated as RBCs or erythrocytes. RBCs are red in color because they have a red color pigment known as a hemoglobin. Their lifespan is approximately 120 days. Hemoglobin is composed of two words. The first one is heme, another one is globin. Heme means iron and globin means protein. It's a complex protein which contains an iron, which contains a metal ion, that is iron. Due to presence of that iron, hemoglobin is red in color, and due to presence of hemoglobin, RBCs are red in color. The number of RBCs is quite high in human beings. That is approximately 3.5 to 5 million per millimeter cube of blood. Due to that high number of RBC, our whole blood appears red. What is the function of RBCs? They help in the gaseous exchange. So the second function of blood is exchange of gases. Hemoglobin has an ability to attach with oxygen more rapidly as compared to carbon dioxide. So when that blood, the deoxygenated blood, the blood which contains carbon dioxide will goes to the lungs, then hemoglobin attach the oxygen, will gain the oxygen from the lungs and blood release out, the blood plasma primarily release out the carbon dioxide into the lungs, into the alveoli of lungs that we had studied in the respiration. So this exchange of gases majorly plays by the blood. The second form of or type of blood cell is WBC, that is white blood cells or leukocytes. White blood cells are white in color as they are devoid of hemoglobin. They do not have hemoglobin. WBC are further of two types, agranulocytes and granulocytes, on the basis of granules present in their cytoplasm. Granulocytes are further of three types and agranulocytes are further of two types. Monocytes and lymphocytes are the form of agranulocytes, and granulocytes have three types: eosinophils, basophils and neutrophils. Those differentiated forms are not in your syllabus. The lifespan of WBC is from 12 hours to few days. You can write from 12 hours to 20 days approximately. Various kind of WBC lives for various time period, and then the reformation of these WBC takes place in the body. These WBC number is very less. They are only 5,000 to 8,000 per millimeter cube of our blood. Their function is, they are known as soldiers of the body, as they fight against the pathogen. So that is the third function of the blood, that is the function of WBC, that is fight against the pathogens, prevention of our body from the diseases. The WBCs are of different types, the B lymphocytes and T lymphocytes, which helps our body to provide immunity to fight against the foreign pathogens, either by themselves directly or by the production of antibodies. The next is blood platelets or thrombocytes. They are approximately 1.5 to 2.5 lakh per millimeter cube of blood. Their lifespan is approximately of 40 days. These are irregular shaped cells. Blood platelets performs the function of blood clotting or blood coagulation. What is it? The outflow of blood from an injured part or injured tissue can be stopped by the blood itself by the formation of a clot, and that process is known as blood clotting. कभी भी बच्चे में जब छोटी सी एक इंजरी होती है तो blood will starts to flow out of our body. In that case, the thrombocytes will go to that place in large number, disintegrates, and the formation of a clot takes place. Clot is a net-like structure. This is a clot which stops the outflow of blood from that injured part. So this is the blood clotting, and these are the four main functions of blood. First one is transportation, second is gaseous exchange, third one is fight against the pathogen, or you can say the prevention against the diseases. Fourth one is blood clotting. The fifth function of the blood, which is very important for our body, is body temperature regulation, thermoregulation. Blood helps in the maintenance of fixed body temperature of our body. that is 37 degrees Celsius. So these are the functions of blood, and the functions of blood are very important question for your board exam. Now we'll discuss the second transporting fluid, that is lymph. Lymph has a special system in our body known as lymphatic system, which is composed of 4 parts. The first one is the liquid itself, the lymph. Second one is lymphatic nodes or glands in which lymph is formed. Next is lymphatic vessels, and the next is, and the fourth and the last is the lymphatic capillaries. Basically, the lymphatic capillaries are formed from lymphatic vessels itself. Lymph is a colorless, non-viscous liquid which is formed by the blood in the special tissues, in the special glands known as lymphatic nodes, lymphatic glands. Lymph does not contain RBC and platelets. So it only has plasma and WBC. In the WBC as well, the leukocyte number is quite low, but the lymphocytes, especially the lymphocytes number, is quite high. Due to that lymphocyte, this lymph provides us protection against diseases, as the lymphocytes are a part of our immune system, so they provide us the immunity, they provide us a system, they provide us a mechanism to fight against the pathogens. Second one is middleman. Lymph acts as a middleman between the blood and body cells. It makes the exchange of materials pretty quick between the body cells and the blood. The third function is the transportation of fats and proteins. Transportation of large size fats and proteins. There are certain macromolecular fats and protein molecules in the body which cannot be transported by the help of blood, which cannot be able to pass into the blood capillaries. So for their transportation, we have a specialized tissue known as lymph. So these are the functions of lymph.